Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to answer a quick question here. One of the viewers asked, Paul, can you do another experiment and make a preceptor video that we can play as preceptors, in quotes, to help others we give sittings to? Um, well, you shouldn't be giving sittings to anybody. I'm not sure what preceptors in the air quotes mean, or not air quotes, but regular quotes. But um, nobody should be giving sittings. And so, I've been kind of having mixed feelings about giving sittings. I'm never going to call myself a preceptor because that's, whatever term that is for Saj Marg. And, this is not Saj Marg in that sense because Saj Marg is still a part of Heartfulness. The organization, the president is dodgy, so that's not what we're doing here. The reason for the whole name of Gratefullness is because this is not a Saj Marg affiliated organization from the standpoint that, this is something we're doing aside from dodgy. That Heartfulness is no longer working. And so, in terms of doing preceptor work, there's not going to be anybody else doing it. You can do the 9 p.m. prayer where transmission flows through you and these things like that. But being made a preceptor, it takes specific spiritual work. There are sittings that are being given, and I've explained this in past videos. And, what happened with me was, in terms of being made a preceptor, I went to India and we traveled around with Master Charji, and I went through a really bad cleaning, which involved not only just like emotional stuff coming up and discomfort and just, a lot of just a rough trip. And I got so sick in terms of my digestive system and so weak. Like I would drink water and it would flow right through me. Like literally, I could feel it going through my digestive tract and would come out within minutes after drinking. People gave me pills. One preceptor gave me these. I don't know if it's from Chinese medicine. They were supposed to help with digestion. And the pills were like those sugar kind of pills. And they literally just came out of me. Like they just went right through. And I was worried because I didn't think I was retaining any water. It was so hot there. I started drinking coconut water after day 3 or 4. And then I was slowly able to eat and, come back to normal. But I was weak for about a week. And for a couple of days there, I was like, wow, I might, I could die from this, right? It was pretty bad. And some of the stuff was self-inflicted. I ate street food, which caused the issue, and I was just going through it. It was more food poisoning than anything else. But, I got back there and I got 8 sittings from 3 from Master Chargy and 5 from senior preceptors, and, it was quite an epic cleaning. And then I got the sitting where he did the work to make me a preceptor. And so that was in 1995, 94, 95. Right, it was like November, I think, of 94, something like that. And then I worked as a preceptor for, I think, through 2000, 1999, maybe 2000. We turned our preceptor certificates in. About half of us, a bunch of people were asked to turn their preceptor certificates in. Chargy was going to evaluate each person, like look at their ticket and, like contemplate the person. And we never got him back. And I was told that we were just going to get him back. It was just a formality by, a secretary of the mission. So I didn't really worry about it after that. I forgot all about it. And then, I heard this story where Chargy took preceptor certificates in India after going through something, I think in 2002 or 3. And I wrote to the secretary and he asked Chargy and he said, in a way that I've read recently in a Journey Series video, a very, sort of roundabout way saying we were no longer preceptors. And the issue for me was it was handled so poorly on an organizational level. And of course, Chargy was very, he was just good at all that stuff. It was kind of sloppy. And we were giving sittings for a year and a half without preceptor certificates. And so, we weren't preceptors during that time, but the sittings were happening. So I didn't know what all had happened, but I knew I wasn't permitted to give sittings, and so that was fine. I guess at that point I was just so overwhelmed with what was going on in my life and all the things. It was, pretty much a relief by that time. Now, there are people who were preceptors and asked not to be, or unmade them preceptors, and then some years later they came back and were remade, and it didn't take as much work. It was like one sitting or something. I don't even know. But the work was done, and that's work I don't know how to do. Deep cleaning work, and then, transmitting in such a way, charging the person's system with power. So that doesn't exist in Gratefullness because there's no one to do that work. But the videos, if you want to have somebody start, there's videos that I have up there for people to experience. You could meditate with them, not give them a sitting, but you could meditate with them and do the videos with them. And I assume the videos are still working. Like, I'm not getting comments anymore. I don't know how many people are even using the videos. And so, I haven't got a comment, and, I don't get very many comments on this channel anymore. Unless I make a new video like this one. And so, I don't know if people are using those and they're experiencing the transmission in them. And if they aren't, you should certainly say something. If people say they don't feel the transmission anymore in the video, and then multiple people say that, then I would assume the video should just be pulled down, and either I make new ones or I do something else. But this originally started as people connecting directly to the source. And I thought there are videos up there where people can meditate. There's no transmission in the video itself. And I don't know if the transmission is even in the other videos. You're connecting through the video to a sitting. Let's put it that way. The video, it's not in the, you wouldn't find the transmission embedded in the code of the video. It's not in the video. It's happening on an etheric world. I mean, any sitting, there's never any transmission in the video itself or the book itself. When you read the books or you do the video, the transmission is given to you through the, brighter world in your etheric levels. You experience transmission on an etheric level. It's not a material, essence. It's not a physical thing. And so the Gratefulness meditation was built on our ability to connect to God and, the Divine Master directly and receive transmission. It was only because I had that dream with Chargy that said, that whatever it was, I covered it and I could re-listen to that. But that's, I think, in Journey Series 118 or 19, where maybe it's, that's fairly recent. So I don't know what it is. I have it, I have it all in a folder somewhere. And so, that's something different, right? That's something that I once was a preceptor, and in a dream, Chargy told me to do the work again. And, I've had mixed feelings about it, and I don't know how to proceed exactly with it. But the videos were important. I felt the videos were, important. If the videos are working, then that's all we need. But the idea that someone else is going to be a preceptor or do preceptor work isn't a part of Gratefulness, because you have to go through that process. And, for now, that's just not available. And I don't know if it ever will. I don't know what's going to become of Heartfulness and, Sajmarg in that sense. And, I don't know if anybody else has been trained to make preceptors in the system. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, but right now, connecting directly is the most important thing. And as we move forward, if there's gatherings and things or whatever down the road, we'll see how all that plays out. But there's no need for anything but the videos that already exist. And if you want to sit with somebody, with not the idea that you're giving them the sitting, but you're participating and meditating with them, and they can feel more comfortable and, whatever, with somebody else doing it with them. And then watching the videos and receiving the first three introductory sittings or, future sittings, and that's okay. But there's no other, preceptor work being done. And the videos are complete right now. Like, there doesn't have to be any videos. I might do a weekly sitting. I've been toying with that idea, and I just haven't had time to. I mean, it's weird that the way it's gone. I've been wanting to get to that, but I haven't been doing that. So, but if I could do a weekly sitting, like every Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. It'd probably be Tuesday. I'll consider doing that in the future. But also the older videos, the videos should all work as well. And then there's the Friday 9 p.m. People can sit with somebody and do that half-hour meditation with them. That's always a half hour. And so, those are the available sittings. Group meditation sometime on Sunday morning. The Friday night sitting with the Divine Master, and the videos that are here. And that's, it's comprehensive. That's all we need. All the things. There's multiple, a couple different types of individual sittings. There is the intensive where you can do 3 sittings in one day. And then there's the introductory sittings that are, 3 sittings in consecutive days over a 3-day period. You take 1 sitting each day to start somebody if somebody wants to start. And all those things can be done and, connect with the Divine Master through the videos. And, there shouldn't be anything else. There's no need for anything else. And just to reiterate, I was made a preceptor. I worked as a preceptor. And the work is already there to be reactivated. Like, that's the only reason that could happen. There is no other situation that this would happen in, right? In terms of other people and doing gratefulness. Because, again, I don't know how to make people a preceptor, and the work has to be done specifically in a way that, it's a real thing. It's not just a title or, in fact, a title isn't possible either. So it's something where a person's able to give sittings because the spiritual work has been done. And unless that is, there needs to be some sort of authority, right? People have to realize there's an authority for a reason, because when this woman, Madame Malin, started to channel Babaji, there was a whole host of wannabes that started to say they were channeling Babaji as well. It was a real problem. Babaji had to address it in the Whispers messages. And so without any sort of hierarchy or any kind of authority, you have people all over the place saying they're preceptors and they can transmit, and, anybody can say anything, right? And what the preceptor's certificate said was, you are permitted to do the work, right? I don't have a picture of it. I can't read it exactly, but it was giving you permission to do the work. The master was giving you permission to do the work, right? My son wanted to train with a guy who was a good guy with pranic healing. And the guy said he had to get permission from Master Charji, because, you would give up your prana otherwise. Pranic healing is not the same as giving a sitting. It's for health reasons. My son was interested in doing it, but he had to get permission to train so a back door could be open so he wouldn't give all his prana away through pranic healing. Like, you're healing people with your pranic energy. Pranahuti is what's given in Sajmarg and the Gratefullness meditation. Pranahuti is a transmission. And so, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. There has to be some authority figures to make sure that people are just making things up or claiming titles or, doing whatever they, just in terms of an egotistical pursuit. There was a desire for people that took Sajmarg seriously to become preceptors. And oftentimes it was out of wanting to serve and for good reasons, right? But, maybe they weren't suited for it, or, maybe there wasn't a need for it. I mean, there's all these reasons why somebody would be made or not made a preceptor, right? And usually after you were made, you were excited about it, but you really didn't know what you were committing to in terms of the amount of work and the other aspects of it. So it's, it's a significant thing to take on. I mean, they don't warn you about that ahead of time, because, it's something you have to experience. And, people would always say, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, I want to do that. Then they realize the amount of time and energy and commitment it is to do the work. But anyways, that's, like I said, everything's in the videos, and there's no need to add anything now. And, there's no reason for anybody to consider themselves given these sittings. I mean, of course, if you do the 9 p.m. prayer, transmission is passing through you, but in a natural, organic way that you don't have to do anything yourself other than do the prayer. And the rest of the time, there's these videos that will help people connect to the absolute and connect to the energy on an etheric level. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paramano, definitely pointing for the Apocalaughs. and the ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.